evening, everybody, and welcome to day 13 of Love Island. We're not. But no, did you make me laugh, right? Because there was just talk about Love Island before we started this. This is going to go out, right? And I'm going to be in Mallorca. I could be in the villa. Me and the girls, we could be by the villa. You don't know, do you?
You can hire. I think you can hire it out. You can.
Where is the villa? Do we know in Mallorca?
It's about half the size of Hayden's in Miami.
Oh, is that what it is? So yeah, I'm on Love Island. As you're watching or listening to this pre-recorded show, I am on Love Island.
Oh, you'd be great on reality TV, mate. We can get you on Big Brother or something.
Oh,
You'll go through the roof.
I'll tell you the funniest one I ever saw was Bob Mortimer on that laughter thing. That was hilarious when he done that. That was brilliant.
Oh, they're trying to make him laugh.
Oh, yeah, it was so good. I like Bob Mortimer. He's hilarious. But anyway, good evening, everyone, or evening, morning, whenever this comes out. I said this is our sort of first of our 2 pre-recorded shows because basically I'm on Love Island. Next week, because I'm still away, you're going to be listening to a marathon talk special that me and Bilbo are going to film at some point between now and me going on holiday. We're going to film that and we're going to talk all things marathon. If you're not checked out the marathon talk, we came up with that original title to talk about marathons. And we still haven't been copyrighted on that yet, which is just amazing. Actually, we might not be here because we could have been legal action. Wilco, you missed it. Hayden went absolutely 2-footed on England Athletics at the end of the live show.
Not true.
So
I did catch that. It's okay. I've taken copious notes. And, I've given the brief the nods that we might have to have a chat at 9 o'clock Monday morning.
I said to them, I'm just waiting for the text from the bollocking from the chair. Anyway, but no, I was saying, right, the reason I get stressed about it, if you haven't listened to the episode, the reason I get stressed about it is because I know how much work that generates for our membership secretary and team. And if that's like what everybody's feeling, that's what I get frustrated about. That's more I get frustrated about because I know how hard everybody has to work and they're all volunteers throughout the whole country. And I just don't think it needs to be as hard as that. So that's why I get emotional about it. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk. Because today, on this episode of our Love Island special, we're going to be talking. Actually, we could have made this like a Love Island special somehow. How could we have made this a bit more loves? We could have got texts and stuff like that. I don't watch it. Scarlett's obsessed with it. I ain't got the capacity to watch
I started watching it a few years ago when my daughter was about Scarlett's age. Yeah. And I thought, she doesn't live with me, and I thought, I've got to keep an eye on this. Is it suitable and all that sort of thing. And I started watching it, and then within 2 weeks later, I'm phoning her up going, how can he do it to her? What a rat. So try and resist it as much as you can, mate.
I'm not getting involved in that. The girls, they love it. I don't get involved. So I should have thought about this. We should have made this a Love Island theme because technically, as I said to you, I am on Love Island. Anyway,
we need a fire pit. We need to be outdoors.
Yeah, that's a good shout. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be. I don't know whether I like this idea. I'm just going to put this straight at the front end, Wilco. I don't know if I like this idea. I will let you know at the end of the show whether I like this idea or not. I should have changed my name because British Grand Prix would have happened. Just to give you a reference in time. So, Hayden, can you explain to the viewers and the listeners what we're trying to do on this show tonight?
We've reached out to all our listeners, our viewers, our Instagram followers, our Facebook followers, and we just said we're going to have a session where you can ask the host. You might want to find out a bit about the host, or you might want some valuable running advice.
Don't get it. This is
go somewhere else.
Wrong shop.
No, they all know what the specialities are. They know what Chris can give them, what answers. They don't always get access to them. So we just thought, let's have Ask the Host tonight. And you can ask the host whatever you want. We're here. We're all open about everything, us guys. We know that. We don't get funny or don't shy away from the big problem. So
we haven't got an agency or an agent sitting there going, you can't answer that. Can't answer that.
We've got admin that tells us off, and Wilco looks after the legal side. So we are a bit restricted.
Okay. Well, let's sit. Hang on. Boss this message, mate. Oh, that's okay. You've got 33 minutes before I need to pick Nick up. Go. Right.
Right, so we've got a mixture, sort of like some of the questions are a bit more longer, some are really quick, easy, quick fire ones. I think we'll go straight in with a couple of really easy, quick fire ones. Obviously, majority of them going to be for you, Chris, because they all like your reaction.
Oh, you're joking.
We've got a couple of really easy ones here. Look, first of all, knowing what's coming up, if you could only run in one brand of shoes for the next 2 years, would you choose Adidas or Asics?
Oh, good
Adidas.
Oh.
Oh, you know what's coming up. So, Sabrina, I could ask you the same question, but because you don't know what's coming up, you might not know what the answer is going to be, or you might not run in the two shoes.
I well, I oh, it's hard. I would go Asics just because I love the Super Blast, but race day shoe I've got Adidas. So
All
yeah.
right, we're going to carry on with a quick fire one. So we've got a lot to get through tonight. Wilco, a pint of Guinness or an ice cream?
Oh,
That is from Debs 78.
God, that's a proper Sophie's choice, that, isn't it? It's seasonal, strictly seasonal. The Guinness season is the autumn through the winter. Ice cream season, Easter till October.
Oh, can I ask you a question? Wilco, talking to seasons, are we going to do the quiz at the end of the year again?
I don't know, mate. I'll check my diary.
Can you have a look for me and let me know? I know.
If you'd like to, I'd love to.
Can you everybody email in? What's the email address, Wilco, that you haven't got access to?
longrunshow@gmail.com. There's quite a few email addresses I haven't got access to, but I assume that's the one you're talking about.
Email in and let us know if you want the big end of year show, big quiz show. That's a quiz at the end of the year.
There also is a big quiz show live in Lanzarote.
Yeah, so there you go. So Wilco's taking that on the road. So well done, Wilco. Right, carry on back to the fix.
Right, we've got a question from Steph Evans. Actually, I think, up our Leeds leader. She is asking everyone, what was your first ever pair of running shoes and do you still have them? Let's go with you, Wilco, first.
I had a pair of Nike ones that I got out the Nike outlet store at the Galleria that just said running. It said cushioned. So I thought that was good. I'm a big lad. They'll come in handy. And like most of my sort of like bigger shoes, the more cushioned everyday ones, I used to donate them to my dad who take his dog out with him. So I wear them so I can't run in them anymore. And then he takes the dog out in them. And yeah, it goes.
Come on, FORDY.
Oh, mine were a bright yellow, same colour as Lando's helmet. Pair of A6 Nimbus.
Oh.
And again, from like a Sports Direct or something like that. Yeah.
You still got them?
No. I'd like to know where they were. They're probably up the loft. There's so much shit up the loft. I ain't joking either. If I could let somebody burgle my house, I'd just let them burgle the loft.
I can imagine.
Now.
Because I'd just like everything taken away there for free. Carry on.
Go on, admin, yourself.
Mine were. I started running in a pair of Adidas Ultra Boost something. Just some pair of trainers I had, and they were great actually. They were super comfortable. And then I changed to a pair of A6 Kayano 20, whatever they were at the time, and they were horrible. So,
what about you, Hayden?
Yeah.
I've still got. I've actually still got them. I've got the Pegasus 34 blue ones. I've actually still got them. Run my first marathon them as well. Absolutely loved them. Absolutely loved them.
Good show.
They went a bit downhill after that, didn't they, mate? Right, let's move on then. Right, we have got. Where we're going to go to now? Let's go to Mike Smith.
I'm not listening, by the way.
What is your favourite individual running moment that you've experienced? Come on, Wilco. Your favourite individual running moment you've experienced since you've been running?
I think finishing my first 10K, I think that was a big deal. And no, that would be the second. My first one was definitely finishing my first half of the big half because I was thrown into it a bit. I'd only just started running. People were taking bets in the office at which mile I'd collapse at. They didn't. Very few. They all thought it was a bit of a laugh. I couldn't possibly do it, but I knuckled down. I did that. And although they're my mates and it was a bit of a two fingers up to them. So I really enjoyed that.
Brilliant.
Right. Hang on.
40's here.
I just cut back because I didn't hear what the question. But you talk about your Pegasus 34. I can show you a shoe. This is from. It's got a load of dust on it. So the top. It's from the 2019 London Marathon. Personalised Pegasus 34, and it's got the date of births of my kids on either side.
Oh,
that's cool. That is cool.
I think there was a second London Marathon, third London Marathon. Got paid him 34. So it's just the fact you said Peg 34, but okay, they're up there, just on the top with all the drone and all that shit. But I saw them the other day, and I was like, I must throw them out, but still got
no, don't throw them out.
Well, they're up there. I mean, it's like the loft. It's just crap everywhere.
But don't go in the loft.
She won't let me throw anything. Anyway,
don't go in the loft.
53. Go
on. Sabrina, your favourite. What has been? This is from Mike Smith. What's your individual favourite running moment you've experienced yourself?
It's got to be a quick answer.
I've got loads, but the one that I always laugh about is when it was the A6 10K a couple of years ago, and I ran with Toby and Simon, and there was a couple of things in that run. One, when Simon went, "This feels really easy," and I thought I was dying. And the other one is we got to like 5.5 miles or whatever it was, where there was a FORDY water station, and Toby was like, "Do you want water?" And I literally screamed no at him, and he was twirling around with a GoPro around his head, and I've never wanted to shove someone like in front of a moving car more. So there you go.
Fordy, going to give us yours?
I won't listen to the question.
Oh, you've had it twice. What's up with you? Mike Smith has asked, what is your individual favourite running moment you've experienced?
Being in New York with you when you got your 6-star.
Oh, he's just
Next,
being nice.
quick,
That is
53.
nice.
What about yours, Hayden? Come on.
No, mine's the same as 40. So I was there in New York getting a 6-star, so it's a good answer. Rob H has asked, do any of us run...
Mind you, the start line was pretty good, bruv, when we were singing...
the cannon.
New York. Yeah, I'll never forget that. When that cannon went off, me and you were singing New York, and then this fucking cannon went off.
Never experienced that. You know, you used to watch, I used to watch on telly, I think it was at Olympia. Was it they had some sort of military show.
Yeah, the Royal Tournament.
The Royal Tournament, and they used to have the live cannons, and it was like that. We were standing there, both of us, and suddenly you just shook on that freak.
Jesus Christ. So that was unbelievable. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
It was unbelievable.
Quick fire, 53.
We are. Rob H asked, do any of you run purely to heart rate?
No.
Straight, easy, forward, no. All four of us, no. Amy Mason has asked all of us, if you could PB this year at any race or distance, what would you choose?
I'd like to PB at 10K because my first 10K that I did after lockdown, I did 50-25 or something, and I thought, I could have broke 50 today. Oh well, there'll be other days, and there never has been. And I've got a few 10Ks. The chances are it's not going to happen, but yeah, if I was to pick one, I'd like to do a sub 50 10K.
Admin?
A 5K. I know that's mad, but it's the only one that I never really give a go to. And
it's tomorrow.
No chance.
Hayden?
I think it's easy. I think I'd have to go marathon as well. It's just for me, that's the ultimate challenge for me, running a marathon and to get a PB again. That was the hardest PB I ever got, and to emulate that and to go even further would be absolutely brilliant.
I'm with you. That in Chicago would be pretty awesome.
Ooh, he's up for it. Sounds like it's coming. Right, we have got from Ralph, Run the Coast. Give us one of your best tips, number one tip for running on holiday.
Who's that?
This is from Ralph Runs the Coast, and let's go with Sabrina.
Hydration, but before, after, not just when you're out running. Like, you've got to have plenty of water.
Or a happy hour.
Yeah.
Right down to 40 happy hour. Wilco.
Get out, get it done. Do it for breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm the other way. I like to do it later in the day.
Yeah.
I like to do it. I like to do it about 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock when I'm bored.
Bill's the same. He's like,
yeah. I've had my fun around the pool with the girls. I've sort of checked out now. I got burnt. I'm going to go onto the treadmill. Don't be afraid to use the treadmill when you're on holiday. It's a secret weapon. Next, 53.
Yep. Right, this one's for 40. Ollie Runs has asked 40. Do you think if you would have run your first ever race all those years ago in today's choice of shoe, would you be faster?
It's not about the shoe. It's about the work you put in the gym. It's the work you put in the week.
So you're saying no?
No, it's the shoes irrelevant. The shoes, that's a small part of the detail.
But even if you thought that very first race you had, if you wore them prime strung, the flashy ones you had on the other day, prime strung 3, if you had them on that very first 5K park run you've done, you don't think you'd have been faster?
No. Running is not about the shoe. The shoe is an integral part of it, but there's so many more important factors that are involved in running, and you can make huge gains from just doing certain things correctly. Just improving your form over 8 to 12 weeks will improve more than you would by putting on a pair of shoes that probably you're going to pronate in and look like a right helmet on race day.
Nicely put. Ben Schofield's got an easy one to kick it all off. I'll go as per the title. What's Hayden in a boy band? Does admin do any admin? And is Wilco going to let me know who to bet on at some point?
I can answer all of them. No, he won't, because the bastard doesn't tell us any of them.
Look, excuse me.
Look at him go.
I regularly leave clues to newsagents. Go to your paper shop, pick the paper up, find it, and then you might find something.
He always bites. Abby, yeah, she does do the admin. And Hayden, yeah, he was in the boy band. He was the sixth member of 5, and this didn't make the cut. Next, 50.
Cheers for that. Right, let's go with Angela Walker. How did you all get into running, and what's your day jobs? How on earth do you fit running in, working full time, and doing so much with the club? That's applicable to all of us. Go on, Wilco.
I work for the Racing Post newspaper, and as a sports writer, writing articles, tipping articles on mainly football. I've done so for 20 years. I started running. I did my first 10K 8 years ago this week, so it was about 8.5 years ago. I needed to avoid a bollocking at. Well, you just have to. It's like the Oscars, mate. You just have to lump it. And I did. I got in it after not a health scare, but a scare of going to the doctors and getting a bollocking. So, and it all went on from there. Really, did 3 or 4 halves. Got a place in the Great North Run. Had a look round. I thought, oh, some clown's done this race. Let's have a look, see what it's like. And yeah, since
that's it.
But I do work as far fitting time in. I work from home quite a lot, and I don't do that much really. So I managed to squeeze it in. Particularly Wednesdays, my beloved FORDY Brooks group.
Admin.
I work as a head of marketing and e-commerce for a fashion company. I got into running. Sam does the admin here, keeps his slot in check. I got into running because I got a charity place for London Marathon. It's one of those things. I've been in the ballot, didn't get a place, got a charity place, and thought I better start doing some running. And it is true, and Chris can tell you, I couldn't run a kilometre when I first got that place.
Now look at you.
I know. And
now she won't run a kilometre.
Yeah, she refuses to run.
And the honest truth is, it is a balance and a struggle for me right now to fit in running. Life changes, work is busy, family life has, changed. And but the best thing is for me getting out in the morning and doing it. I think as soon as it gets to later in the day, by 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm kind of worn out and done. So yeah.
And she is married to an absolute legend whose father is my hero. Aidan?
No, I am an accountant, and I got into running because I was getting too old to play football and I wanted to find something else. How do I find all the time in my day to do what I do? I'm lucky.
He's the boss.
That helps a bit. I could do what I like. That's mine. Mine's nice, easy, and simple. Really quick. Come on, FORDY. Give us yours quickly.
I can't remember what the question was. I'm a hero. I drive Formula 1 cars, and I'm really busy. Next, come on. Whoever asked that question.
You are getting through these. Lee Stocker wants to know: is it possible to run with the same arm and leg moving at the same time? Have you ever tried it?
What?
So right arm, right leg. And then left arm, instead of doing them like this.
No, but I'd love to see him try. So if he can
send us a video. Send us a video.
Random question, that.
All Things Runners asked, Hayden, how did you get into all the world majors in such a small space of time? It wasn't really a small space of time, about 3 years. Time qualified 2, sports tours for 1, ballot 2, and 1 for charity. Nice and easy.
Fair enough.
Which one did you do for charity?
London, first London.
Which is still, it still takes a while, and don't underestimate, the costs involved in that as well, just to do all those. It's bloody expensive. It's not like a influencer who's getting flown around the world to Australia and all this sort of stuff. He's done it himself as well. I think which is impressive, to be honest with you. So it wasn't given to him. So well done, mate, Brady, for doing that. But yeah, I think I'll be honest with you. I'm more proud of your missus. She's my hero for doing it.
Yeah.
Absolute legend. Works
Me too.
really hard for doing that. So fair play to her.
And she never shows off about it. Whereas me, I tell
that's what I'm saying.
Everyone knows.
And a shout out to everybody who's gone out and done that on their own steam. Actually, to go out and do those 6 world majors, or even one marathon, whatever, or any race. So fair play to everybody.
Question, Hayden. Are you going to go to Are you going to get Sydney as well at some point?
I was meant to be going, but Chris he won't let me sit on the same plane as him.
I know somebody who's going out there. What? Right, carry on.
So. But although we had some inside information, did we, the other day about the old Cape Town one, Chris?
I wasn't really listening.
Of course you wasn't. That is going to be announced on
brilliant.
November the 2nd, people. That it could be.
Look,
the
you'll
next
just keep going and going and going, and within 5 years, you'll be running in Saudi Arabia in the dark.
I'll take that.
I'll take
Where do I sign up?
It's a good shout. Right, Ben G has asked Chris Ford, only one form of social survives. Do you save TikTok, Insta, Facebook, or YouTube?
I don't think I'm going to be. I don't think YouTube's social. I think YouTube's a streaming network.
That's a good point.
So, because more people watch that than most streaming services. So, and it's funny.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's the biggest media platform out there, actually.
It's the biggest media platform out there. It's more people watch that, for example, than Netflix.
Wow.
So I would put that to one side if I could.
So you got to save TikTok, Insta, or Facebook.
Purely because of I have ADHD, I'd say TikTok.
Because
I can spend hours watching total crap.
I had a feeling I knew that was going to be the answer to that one.
Well, most of it's people playing the Hobbit song, and I send them to Hayden.
Yeah, I know he does actually, or ruder ones. There are ruder ones as well that come my way. All right, this is it's anonymous. I'd like to ask if Sabrina does. I'd like to ask Sabrina, does she actually tell you off when you're not behaving on the podcast? I suppose that's a question for FORDY, really.
Yeah.
Do you make that up, or does she actually tell you off?
No, I can hand on heart say there was one episode that we weren't allowed to put out. That's true. There was an episode that didn't go out. Yeah, I routinely get. To be fair, right? She's got a little bit more liberal. It's more Tobe. It's true, though, isn't it? Admin Tobe recently is a bit strong, and the chairman. But no, admin. To be fair, I'm going to give her credit because she's like appreciated. She has honestly over time she's been brilliant in keeping me straight and narrow on so many things, and been a real pillar in terms of guidance and stuff, and helped me like untold massively. I'm so forever grateful for the help she's given me over this journey of what I've been through. I can't even give the words to what she's actually done for me in terms of the opportunities that have come my way, and a lot of it's down to her. So she does need a massive pat on the back, and yeah, she does. But she's always that one person that you'll go to, because I'll say it to Hayden. I say, Hayden, what do you think of this? And he'll go, I'm going to go and ask admin.
No. So correct that. It doesn't matter what I say. If I say go for it or don't, he says I'm going to go to admin anyway. It doesn't matter what my answer is. It goes to admin anyway.
Honestly, it really is invaluable. Just having somebody you can just go, and most of the time I know. Most of the time, if I'm going to admin, I shouldn't be doing it.
Yes,
or it's because I'm taking a risk, and I'm quite risk averse because of challenges I've had through my life, and I never want to be in a situation where I'm back driving that Tesco van, and sometimes I think to myself, am I putting everything at risk for one thing? And I tend to go to those two people and say to them,
yeah,
what do you think?
With my professional hat on, though, there is a line. As long as you're not questioning people's professional integrity or calling them thieves and things like that, you can still be opinionated on subjects, and you can still.
Yeah, but admin helps me not just on that sort of stuff, but like even like okay, I've got a video coming Sunday, right? People, it would be out by now, but I've got a video coming Sunday that I'm not sure that I want to put out because it's quite personal, and it opens me up. Yeah. So, but the first people I asked were these two. You know, so that tells you how high regard I have, because I'm putting literally myself on the line and risking by doing something, and I go to those two. So that tells you how high I regard their opinion. Will Carl won't even bother asking.
Yeah, don't bloody ask me, mate. Look, to be frank, I don't give a shit.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But you've got to count yourself lucky when you've got friends like that. You've got to count yourself lucky, and I do. Next,
we've got Gary H has asked all the panel, 2-week taper or 3-week taper when training for a marathon.
It's personal.
Yeah.
It's personal, and I've got to be honest with you. I think we scrapped that question because it should be really down to you as an individual. There's the 3-week rule, which okay, but really, coach's hat on, it should be a tried and tested thing. Because remember, with a marathon, you're trying to peak at the right time. So I don't know what's gone on in your training, what volume you've done, what sort of stuff you've been doing, where you've come from. Yeah, like if you're somebody who's like doing a high mileage, or like a certain person, you know, you might only have a 12-week block. You know, it's all relative. So I wouldn't answer that one. Seriously, I wouldn't. I think that's very individual, and that's something you need to try. If you're doing your first, try 3. Okay, it's a nice, gentle sort of come down. But after that, try and tinker with it, get it right, and base it around your volume, base it around what you've been doing, what races you've been doing, what did you have beforehand? Did you do a mini block? Did you come out of another block? All that stuff, because your condition will be totally different.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, the aspirations for the race as well. Because again, everybody's doing 52 marathons a year because we're all heroes we see on TikTok. But really, you should, in an ideal world, you should be doing like 1, and peak for that race if that's your whole goal for the year. If you're not, and you're just because you like doing marathons because you enjoy doing them and you like training for them, that's fine. It's different. But if you're trying to peak for one race, then you peak for that one race, and your taper will look differently if you're trying to peak for that race versus if it's something you're looking at doing as a training run or as something that's a part of a longer term goal. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Absolutely.
53.
I know he's going to hate this one, but I think it's a great question. I'm just going to ask it.
Wilco?
Run Jojo has asked, Chris, you have explained how your ADHD and neurodivergency are helped through running, but do you think, and would you run and train the same way you do now if you didn't have the diagnosis?
What?
How can he answer that?
If you didn't have ADHD, if you weren't diagnosed with ADHD and autism, do you think you'd still run like you do now? Or do you think that was the
Well, I've always been autistic and I've always had ADHD. It's just it wasn't diagnosed until
I think
40.
I think if I can just sort of I think what they're saying, the essence is how much has it changed your approach to stuff being diagnosed as opposed to how you would be before you were aware of your neurodiversity.
Okay. It's still, I don't really know because I'm only now 6 years down the line understanding what that means for me in terms of being autistic and having ADHD, the great combination that can work well together or be polar opposites. So, and yes, it can be a positive impact because I'm focused in on numbers, I'm focused in on doing certain things, and I have a routine, and that works in terms of doing a training plan and the output, and obviously the well-being benefits of doing physical exercise. But I don't know, and I don't know whether understanding more about me as an autistic and somebody who has ADHD, as how that differs to back then. I can't answer that. I don't really know, to be honest, because I was who I was back then anyway. I don't know. Maybe I was obsessed over running without knowing about it while I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And
so you never look back and sort of like, oh, I used to do this and now I do this sort of thing.
No,
or do you think that's like the general experience of just your development as a runner?
No, that's general experience. That's general experience anyway. As somebody who got late diagnosis autism and ADHD, the fact of if I look back on things that happened to me that have caused me such pain in my personal life, because if I go back to when I was at school, when I go back into the workplace, there's situations where I didn't go the right way, or I didn't get looked after, or I didn't get the right treatment, or I wasn't able to deal with situations correctly because I didn't know anything what those emotions were.
Yeah.
Or classic example being that, as I said before, the fact that I wasn't able to go out and entertain clients to a degree because I didn't like the club environment because I had panic attacks in there, but I didn't know what that was. That obviously stunted my career in the city to the degree where I ended up driving a Tesco van to keep the roof over our heads. Yeah. And that's because I was, even going back at school, where there's stuff that, I could go through that, again, somebody who wasn't diagnosed back then, nobody spotted it, that I couldn't concentrate in school. I didn't want to be there. I couldn't learn. I can't sit there and read anything. I can't do any tests. I can't do any learning. I multiple guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, that do. I'm out of here. See you later. I can't sit at a desk. That sort of thing. No one spotted that. So that's impacting me in my education. But again, I get about that, but I can't look at it in terms of running because it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that? I don't even know if I answered it. I think it's all bollocks again.
Well, give us
Everyone's
insight.
got a lot. I
Give us
just,
good insight.
I just everyone's get a label. Everyone's ADHD. Everyone's got it's all bollocks. I tell you, you are what you are. You are what you are. We all have our struggles, whether it's got a label or not. It doesn't matter, does it? I am what I am. Crack on with it. Not me. Whose dog's barking?
Not mine. Spuds in the garden.
It's not Buzz. He's laid out there. I can see his arse. Look, see his
Mine's-
arse there.
Mine's actually having a sleepover somewhere at another person's
He's there.
house.
Look, Buzz.
Sleepover for the dog.
Buzz. Look, here he is. Look. Hey, look, here he comes. Hey, they're talking about you, mate. Right, carry on. Come on.
Well, let's go. We've got one for the lady.
Last
in the house.
two. You got two more.
Two more. Okay, we've got this one here. Sabrina, this is definitely one for you. Does your menstrual cycle affect your training habits?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Straightforward, nice and easy. There you go.
Yeah.
We can just
I'm
leave
not
that
going
one.
to. There's no need to go into detail. I think every woman is different. Goes, but we talk about training, etc. But it does, and I think the more you run, you figure out when you feel stronger, when you feel weaker, and actually how to adapt your training based on that. So yeah.
Perfect. Got two left. One quick one, easy one. How old actually is Hayden?
72.
No, rubbish. When this goes out,
No, 72.
49.
That's absolutely no. I'm not having that.
No, hold on. Your birthday's not till September.
When's this going out?
August.
Oh, 48 then. Take a year.
72.
Take a year
Don't
off.
listen to a lie.
Absolute
Honestly,
rubbish.
it's all lies.
Right. Buds has got a question as he sits there as well. Who's taller, Chris or Hayden? That is Hayden.
Me.
Move on to the next question. Steph has asked. Actually, says question for. No, actually, we have a question for all of us to finish up with. Actually, did you ever think that 40 Runs and the Long Run Show podcast would ever become this big?
No.
The podcast definitely not, because when we started doing it, we were on that what was it called? Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, and there was like 20 people. And when we thought, oh well, should we do this on a podcast to see what happens? And yeah, we were just like, well, we're just like this. We're just sitting around in our front rooms, jawing. And I can't believe that the podcast has taken off as much as it has. The club, yeah, I can. I could see how that has, because it was already in situ when the big boom happened, and it took off post-COVID when people like the three of us, we got involved in that at that sort of time, didn't we? And like we've been part of all that, it really lifting off.
Yeah, that's
in the last 5 years.
I think I sent FORDY a picture recently. He put a post on the community page telling everyone that our satellite clubs are allowed to start re-meeting again. Just after the COVID, we had to meet like more than 6 of you.
Yeah.
And he posted where the satellite clubs were, but yeah, it was quite surreal actually. It was quite a while ago. Chris, what do you reckon?
I've got 2 minutes and then I've got to
Go
go.
on,
What was the question?
Did you ever think that 40 Runs Running Club and the podcast would ever be as big as it is?
I'm surprised it's still going. I'm surprised it hasn't been shut down by England Athletics. We will at some point face a lawsuit. I don't understand why people listen to this. It's just me basically just going all over the place talking total nonsense. I feel sorry for everybody who does listen to this because I feel like we could give more value. And I just love everybody who's involved with the club, chairman, membership secretary, all you lot, all the hosts on this show, but genuinely all the satellite leaders, the volunteers, the people who turn up to our events and help us put on. We've got over 250 people coming up to Newcastle to do a shakeout run, which is bigger than some park runs, but straight away people are there to volunteer. They're just all my heroes. I'm just blown away by everybody. I just honestly, the stories that you get, the relationships, the families, everybody who gets involved with it, it's incredible. OGs like Hell's Bells, Fletch, people like that. It's everything. It's incredible. So many lives have changed. It's so good for everybody. It's improving people's well-being just by being able to get to a satellite every week or be involved in the global run crew and all that sort of stuff. It's powerful. Don't underestimate it. Me and Buds have got to go. We've got to go and pick up Nick because I'm going to get shouted at and I'm going to blame Hayden. Hayden, have we got any other questions? Can I ask you a question?
You can.
When you said about your age, was you lying?
No. But you are about to close down the show and finish it just in time for Love Island. So for that, I'm grateful.
Where's the outro? New outro. Right, team. That's it. I'm going back to the villa because I've had a text. So next week.
You don't watch it, yeah.
Next week's marathon. That marathon talk. Me and Buzz will see you all later. Bye-bye.
See ya.